Are you an expat living in Mexico? Are you working, planning to visit or spend the winter season in this wonderful country? Perhaps you don't really feel that you have to learn Spanish. There's always a way to move around with English, right? You'll frequently find some nice server or clerk who speaks your language, or someone who will really try hard to understand your short phrases in Spanish with the help of some gestures. After all, isn't English the lingua franca nowadays? However, I am pretty sure you are aware of the many reasons why learning the local language is important. Showing respect for the people, having a taste for the culture, and making your life easier, among others. Yes, I'm totally aware that learning Spanish can be awfully difficult. Each language has tricky parts, and Spanish is no different, of course. But with all due respect, I have always had a better opinion of those expats or tourists who at least try to learn a bit of my language, Spanish, and my country and culture, Mexico. You will be a part of a community, at least for a while. The first 20 hours of learning a language provide the basic knowledge, so that you can start moving around with a bit of confidence. Who knows? You might even get the inspiration to go for another 20? And another 20. So here are my 7 tips to start learning Spanish. Tip number 1. Get yourself a personal language coach. You don't want to waste time learning things that won't be useful for your very personal situation and lifestyle. A personal language coach, and more specifically a neurolanguage coach, will adapt the language to your needs and learning style. We have the knowledge on neurosciences and coaching to help you set clear, reachable goals. We'll make grammar look simple by chunking it down into digestible pieces. We'll find activities that you enjoy doing and help you associate the new knowledge with your mother tongue. Just make sure your coach has some knowledge of your language. Tip number 2. Set goals that you can reach in a 20-hour period of study. Let's suppose that you are a very busy person, and that you can't be sitting studying for long periods of time. How would you feel with 2 sessions a week, 1 hour each? This means that, in 10 weeks, you'll have reached your goal. Your neurolanguage coach will help you identify the most important language structures and functions, so that you can start feeling part of the community. Tip number 3. Start by learning some useful phrases and everyday vocabulary. Do you frequently go to the local grocery store? How do you ask for basic things? Do you have young children? You might want to have some small talk with parents, teachers, or school employees. Though it might be a bilingual school, not everybody will speak English. Have you hired the services of a cleaning lady? How about being able to communicate with her? Think of a few basic dialogues and practice them. Of course, conversations can be so different and even unpredictable, but you'll be amazed at how much they follow a specific pattern. Tip number 4. Find the patterns. Even though Spanish might seem complicated, you will soon discover that it isn't. At least not that much. Best of all, it is read as it is written. No surprises here. Tip number 5. Create associations. Spanish is a Romance language, which means that it is derived from Latin and Greek. Can you think of words in English, or your mother tongue, that are derived from these 2 languages? You might have to go to more academic or scientific knowledge, but you'll be amazed on the number of words and structures which are similar between the languages. Tip number 6. Practice. 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 If you dedicate some extra time between sessions, your language will become much better. You can take advantage of living in Mexico. So get a language friend to practice, watch programs, or listen to the news in Spanish, and try to use the language in your daily activities as much as possible. After all, we Mexicans will understand that you are learning the language, and will appreciate your effort. And here's my last tip. Tip number 7. Go for another 20-hour goal. Once you have reached your first goal, I'm pretty sure you'll feel inspired to go for the next 20 hours. Learning a language can be exciting. It will keep your brain active and healthy, and you will be making thousands of new brain connections. Talk to your neurolanguage coach, and together you will set new time-wise goals to move forward in this amazing voyage of discovery.